in prayer. Problem solving is something I did for a living, and I'm just in my nature. This stove was over a year in design, and it was the first time I had stuck to a very rigid criteria of what, instead of injecting me into it, sticking to the criteria of something that a novice owner builder with no skill could build as inexpensively as possible, have the best, most well-insulated home with the best aesthetics possible. Longevity, everything considered, and cost, all of it. And I broke a lot of records, cost records, cut them in half. And it's far better, built far better. And the results were very pleasing. I was surprising, actually. And so I've stuck with that and looking at all the other aspects of off-grid and other problems. And the problems that are created out of, I see, necessity, because the cost today of initial cost of buying something, you can't get parts, you can't pay to get it fixed, and then there's the consumables. And so tackling hot water heater, being me, I did not want a propane hot water heater. I am not a propane junkie. I gave it up over a year ago. For cooking, I don't even like it for that. It's problematic, and I don't like having compressed explosive gases around because I understand what they are. With solar water heaters, like, you can buy one for a couple $1,000s and everything, and they work great. But you're spending a couple $1,000s, and then it's solar, and then how good is that in a polar vortex winter? You know? And then, even in a cold winter, I question. I'm going to push this one as far as I can I'm going to insulate the box to it and do everything I can do to hedge it, my laboratory. But wood has the disadvantage of it spits. When it's coming out, you wind a copper coil is the most common way of doing it around your chimney pipe. Even a small wood stove like this one, a copper coil around, the water's going to spit. And there is a possibility when you have heat and water together of having problems with steam. So I removed that entire process and put it on the roof. Okay? And right next to the hot water tank, to where it's a very short line, and right next to the solar water heater. All of them and the pump inside are all in the same area. That solves the whole problem with the sound of it spitting. The whole thing, it's outside, it's on a chimney. Okay? If you have a solar hot water heater depending without a pump, it's a slow boat to China heating it. And the same could be said of a wood-fired coil. The hot water will rise, and you will get that, but it's a slow boat to China. But the $30 pump available on Amazon, eBay, 27, whatever, designed for a solar water heater, pumps 3 gallons an hour with a 9-foot lift. And that pump running through a homemade PEX half-inch coil solar hot water heater. I'll show the pictures of it. I'm going to post all the pictures on it as I put this together this week and next week. I'm going to have it all together. I'm working on it, homing on it. The water came out at 144 degrees. Too hot for a shower on an average day, just solar alone. Okay. So that water going into a water heater has an R value of 6 and up, and 22 being optimum. And so I'm going with 20 plus by taking and putting it a 20 or 30 gallon blue tank, food grade tank, which are good up to 180 some degrees. I love them. And already has the plumbing fittings in the top, inside of a larger 55 gallon one. And in backfilling it with foam, I've got my 4 inches of closed cell foam insulation R22. So that pump, be it running through the coil on the outside roof water heater or through the solar water heater, only needs to run for about, I'm estimating 15 to 20 minutes a day. Because a tank, that water coming in there is accumulative. Then at that point the pump cuts off. That tank holds that water temperature for over the night, no problem. And the supply has to be, the cold water supply has to be above the hot water tank. I worked that out. And the hot water tank, you draw off of the top of it to it. And you're supplying it from the cold water cistern above from the bottom. So you're not running out of hot water in your hot water tank. It is constantly being filled from your supply. I'll put the stuff in there for this. But it took me a whole long time. But all of a sudden I realized this would work for any use, any application. Freestanding hot tub, freestanding shower, bathroom, heated, connected to any cabin. And at the same time, could also be used to other options like heating a greenhouse, heating the soil in a greenhouse. And so I'm going to go with this and put it together. And I'll put some pictures below linking so you can visualize what I'm going to do. This is going together now. And I figure I'll have it done within 2 weeks, have the whole thing up and running. Building the structure part of it now. The next up is going to be a small wood burning furnace like the one I built at the farm, but it worked like a charm. But everything would heat a barn, and I'm gonna look at a smaller one of those to heat both those, or a shop, NFL, or just any structure like that, but an outdoor wood burning furnace. This is fun for me. This is what I do. I love it. It's a kid playing with toys.